Hi everyone, I have a fun Halloween project to share with you today. We are going to make a Halloween card using the Sunday Drive die from Spellbinders as well as the Halloween add-on that was just released. And to start, I'm just going to make my background for the card, and I just have some lilac cardstock and then a spiderweb die cut that I cut out from an MFT spiderweb die. You could also use a spiderweb stencil if that's what you have, and I think Spellbinders has released a foiled spiderweb that goes with their glimmer foiling kit, which I don't have, but I think that that's another option if you want a spider web background. All right, so we are going to start by putting together our little convertible, and I just adore this die set so much. It's basically a little convertible car, and then we have a little skeleton and a little witch who are going to be in the front seat, and they have the top down, and they're just going on a super fun autumn drive. So I am going to put together the license plate now. So this license plate is in the Halloween add-on set, and I have some glitter cardstock for the background, and then I just cut out the license plate itself on some white cardstock just to make sure that it stands out against the back of the card. The color scheme that I'm using here, I'm using some kind of fun Halloween color, so we're going to use a really bright lime green for the car. We are going to have our light lilac backdrop, and then we'll have a little bit of some glittery orange accents, and then otherwise it's going to be black and white and silver throughout. So I really like mixing greens and oranges and purples and blacks together in different combinations for Halloween cards instead of just a standard like orange and black. So now I am going to work on putting on the little tail lights. So I cut them out with some mirrored cardstock as I did the back fender there. And I cut out the piece twice, once with mirror cardstock and then once with a yellow cardstock. And I'll show you how I'm going to put them together. So the little yellow insert is going to be the light, but it's one die cut piece. So you have to cut out your pieces twice in order to get the light, and then in order to get the little rim around the light as well. I'm using art glitter glue, which I love for this detail work because it has a really thin nozzle. I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the back side here and attach my tires right next to the little piece of the fender that's coming down. And then I'm going to flip everything over. So this car is basically in two parts. You have the back that we're putting together now, and then you have a windshield that we're going to attach directly to the card base. Now this is super fun putting together the little character. So we have this little skeleton man. So I'm going to add a little glittery black hat to him that I cut out with some glitter cardstock. And then we're going to give him a little band, a little green band there around the edges. You could also leave this off if you like. And I'm just removing the excess glue there with my little picker tool. And then I'm going to punch out the little parts in between the ribs, and that's it. She's done. Now we'll work on our witch. So for our witch, we have this little hair piece. We have her neck and shoulders, and then her dress, and then her hat. And we're going to layer all of those together. So I put the tiniest drop of glue on the edge of her neck, and then just attached her hair on top of there, being sure to let a little bit of the neck show through. Just I thought it made it look super nice. You could also attach the head right onto her shoulders if you like. And then we're going to attach the hat. So I put it about a third of the way down her hair, and I'm just going to place that there. And then we have to attach the dress to the back of her shoulders. And for this, I'm just going to put a super thin line of glue just along the bottom of that piece, and then attach her dress right behind that. And again, I have that with some black glittery cardstock. And that was probably the hardest piece to affix out of all of them, because you just have such a small area to glue the two pieces together. Then I'm going to add a band to her witch hat. So we're going to give her a little lilac colored band to match the card back. And here's our little couple. Aren't they so adorable? Our little skeleton and our little witch. And now we can work on placing them into the car. So to do this, I'm just going to attach them to the back of that little, the hatchback to the convertible. Is that how you say it? Like where the roof goes back? I don't know what that's called. But I'm just going to sort of lay it down just straight. So I just put the little characters on my mat, and then I added my glue to the very bottom of the character, and then I just placed the car right on top so that I could get it placed exactly where I wanted. And now I'm just gonna press the little witch in there and just hold it for a second, make sure it adheres good. The most difficult part of this die set is just not getting glue on the areas of the card that show through. So you have to be real careful with like really small amounts of glue. For the windshield, I'm using some pearlescent vellum from Lawn Fawn, and I just attached it to the edges of this windshield here, and I'll cut off the excess. And then I also cut out a little piece for the mirror using some mirrored cardstock. There's no separate die for this, so if you want to add this, you just have to cut the windshield out again and then cut off the little mirror part and add it, if that makes sense. Now we're going to start putting our card together. So we're going to attach that windshield right maybe about halfway down the card panel, and then we'll attach our side mirrors. And because I'm using pearlescent vellum there, I was able to put adhesive on the windshield without it showing through. And then we're going to pop up the back of our car with one layer of foam tape. So I'm just going to add it to the car and to the wheels, not to the little lady and the little skeleton. They're just going to stand out on their own to help with the 3D effect here. And I'm just going to line things up and place my little car down. And then when I get just the right placement, I will press down and finish that off. Now we are going to decorate our car. So I'm going to add this little railing to right above the license plate. I'm going to add a little glittery decoration on top of the license plate. And all these little items, all these little decorations are included in the Halloween die set. So you'll have them. I put together 2 layers of the little skull there just so he stands out a little bit, almost like an embellishment. And I use some white glitter cardstock for the little skull. And then we're going to put a little bat on the fender. And these bats are also included in the die set. And I just thought that finished off the design just so perfectly with those 2 little decorations. And then we'll add a couple of bats to the background as well. And now we're going to add her broom. There's actually a couple things that I forgot here, so we're going to add them in now. So we're going to add her broom, and I'm just putting that together very delicately because you have a very small space to work in. It's such a tiny die cut. And then to glue it down, I'm just going to glue it by the head of the broom here. So I put that on some foam tape, and I'm just going to place it right next to her. I did not put any adhesive on the broom handle itself. It was just too delicate. And now at this point, I realized I forgot to put in the steering wheel. So this part you would put in when you, like before, of course, you attach the back of the car. So I'm just trying to get it in there in the right place. And because I use foam tape, I can lift up the back of the car a little bit just to wedge that steering wheel in there. And then I'm just going to add it and make sure our little guys are positioned just right. And that's it. Now we can add our whole card panel to a card base. And that is our card for today, everyone. So I love that license plate Be Spooky. It is a perfect design for Halloween, and I think it'll make anyone that you send it to smile and happy and just get all festive and ready for the Halloween season. Okay, that is all I have for you today, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you again soon in another video.